Right then guys, morning. Okay, I've had to wait for a break in the weather once more. You guys, last week we're talking about different Bergens and different rucksacks, and we're sort of going to do a series on this. And the biggest request was how to pack a military style Bergen. Now, I'm assuming this is what you guys mean. Main body with side detachable rocket pouches that can be utilised by taking off, zip together, put a yoke on, and you've got a little day pack. There is no definitive right, wrong way. It's personal preference. However, there are some principles, and I'll go through those and show you how I utilise those principles. Firstly, you really need to make sure that the Bergen fits you properly. If you're going out 10, 20 miles, it's going to start hurting if it's not fitted to you correctly. So what you really need a Bergen that gives you the versatility, the choices, be able to take in a strap, take in just the shoulder, to be able to lift the lumbar part up onto there, not onto your bum, not too high. You want the weight on your shoulders as opposed to on your back. You don't want a Bergen pulling your back. And one way of sorting that out is to ensure that this waistband sits on top of your hips. You really need to make sure that the length of the Bergen, your back, is all set up correctly. You don't want the Bergen sitting there and pulling too far back. So what you really need to be looking for is a strap that's not just adjustable in length, but it's also adjustable in height. So I can tighten this down so it's closer into the body of the Bergen, or I can let some of the webbing out, and therefore this strap would be higher up. It depends on your back length. You really need to spend some time setting this up and getting it right before you even think about loading it up. So first thing you're looking for when you buy a Bergen is to make sure that you have, well, as many adjustable points as possible. It just gives you that flexibility. We're not all 6 foot. We're not all 5'5". We're not all strong around the shoulders. Something you need to look for. This is snug packed Bergen, made out of 5000D nylon. It is, for all intents and purposes, the same design as the British issue. However, it's a lot lighter. I'll go through how I was talking about the principles and certain things that you can do with your Bergen to make sure that, well, first, you don't want the heavy stuff at the bottom. You don't want it bottom heavy, because a bottom heavy Bergen will put that weight, will pull the Bergen off your shoulders. So as opposed to walking, you're always pulling, and you find that it's very tight on your shoulders and it starts to hurt at the bottom of your spine. So what I would tend to do is stick my sleeping bag and my lighter stuff at the bottom of the bag, all in a stuff sack. So this is waterproof as it is. You also get with this, if I can just undo it, you get very generous rain cover. So a drop of a hat, you can chuck your Bergen off and you get it completely waterproof. As you can see, it's massive. It's absolutely, you could probably fit 2 Bergens in that. Right, So that's an added bonus that you get with the snug pack Bergen. I'm going to put that away because I want to show you some of the things that I've got inside. Let's pack this away. There you go, there's very little fuss. Right. So, top pouch. I would tend to put stuff that I would need to get at in a rush. If you're going out and all of a sudden the rain comes down, you need waterproof. Always in the top. I don't need to open my Bergen up and expose the contents. So I can stick my smock on, happy days, nice and dry, put the Bergen back on, you know, deploy the rain cover, and that's it, happy days. You might have spotted also, in case of emergency, look, my first aid goes in the top as well. So plenty of space in there. I haven't overloaded this Bergen. I don't need to. It could take a lot more kit, but as you can see, it's not that heavy either. I haven't put water in. I haven't put water on board. You carry water however you want to, okay? I would tend to have a camelback and slip it down inside there. That's how I carry my water. Right? So once you get to camp, once you get ready to set up, first thing you need is to set up camp. So first things I can put my hands on, well, you don't, what I've got in here, everybody's got different kit. So I'm not saying you have to go out and buy yourself an axe, or you have to go out and buy yourself a tarp or a hammock. It depends how you want to camp. But this is just, there are some principles here. You wanted to know how I pack a military Bergen? Well, when I was in the army, I didn't have this kit. I wish I had, but I didn't have this quality of kit. Okay, so the first thing I can put my hands on is my tarp and my line, so I can put a shelter up first. Then I've got my hammock. I'm not going to go into detail everything I've got in here. And then, if I just open this up, okay, I've got my pegs and my lines. So that's shelter taken care of. If it is lashing it down, I've got my shelter up. I've stayed dry coming in. I can continually stay dry because my shelter's up. Now I can open up my wet bag, my stuff sack. Everything I've got in here, I really, really want to keep dry. There isn't much chance of rain, moisture getting through the bag itself. Like I said, it's made out of 5000D nylon. You stick a hose pipe on this. You've also got the rain cover. It's not going to get through that. But if I were to find myself in a situation where I had to do maybe a water crossing, you need something that is airtight. And this is why I have a large ditch bag, a large dry bag. So inside, first thing I've got in here is dry clothes, dry clothing. Let's have a look what I've got. Sleep suit. All squaddies out there will recognise this. Also the trousers. Put that there. Sorry about the wind, guys. Okay. Bivvy bag. This is army issue bivvy bag. So. Put that down there. Then I've got my pillow. Got to have your creature comforts. Bearing in mind, this is all stuff that I want to keep dry. So this is all in my stuff sack. Right, what we've got in here. Nice. More warm clothing. I mean, we're being threatened at the moment with snow, so you don't want to be cold. Right, I'll put that down. That's the SJ9, if you didn't know. And, okay, self-inflatable mattress. You just want to make sure that you can keep yourself off the ground. If the ground is frozen, or you're going in and suspected freezing conditions, you don't want to be directly on the floor, do you? Right. Self-inflatable. I'll leave that down there. And then, final thing, in my dry bag, is my Tactical 4 sleeping bag. Well, let's open her up, get her out. You might have seen the video I did on this a couple of weeks ago. Pound for pound, I don't think you can buy a better winter bag. This is rated down, well, comfort rating is -12. Extreme rating, -17. Fleece lined, hood, pocket for my pillow. Look, I'm a civvy now, okay? I get away with this stuff. Right, so that's the main compartment sorted out. Top compartment done. Let's go down into this. As you can see, I've got plenty of space, plenty of room in these side pouches. Right, first of all, small 511 pouch. Inside that, you may recognise this, because you saw that I actually haven't got any water with me. I need to be able to process water while I'm out there. This is my Catadine Hiker Pro. Maybe you might want to see the review I did on that. I won't spoil the surprise for you. Put that down there. Okay, in here, food. Lots of food. What we got? Fruit cocktail in a light syrup. There's got to be an all-day breakfast in there. Got potato and beans. Basically, I got more than what I need for an overnighter there. Right, just chuck that down there. So that's that pouch done. And then finally, I'm going to reveal my response pack. Small pack. If I needed to, in a survival situation or an emergency situation, I could leave all of this. Just grab that and I'll be okay. I'll go into this in more detail at a later date, because for my 3,000 subscriber giveaway, I think I'm gonna give it away. So yeah, wait until that. Right guys, as you can see, principles. That's all this video is about. Principles of how to pack a Bergen. You want to ensure that your dry stuff stays dry. You want to ensure that the Bergen is fitted correctly. You want to ensure that the lighter stuff is at the bottom so it's not pulling you over. I think that's it guys, as you can see. Wow, I got more than enough. Okay, bless you guys. I'm going to enjoy a bit of this and I'll see you later on. Bye!